Assalamu alaikum, Imam Khalid Lateef. Please go ahead and start the khutbah, inshallah.
Great. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah. Bismillah walhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him, we praise Him, we glorify Him. Beseech Him to send His choicest salutations upon His most beloved, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, and upon all those who choose to tread in His path until the last day. Alhamdulillah, it's truly an honor to be here with you all on this blessed day of Jum'ah, within the blessed days of Ramadan. May Allah make it a means of benefit and increase for all of us. And may we all be those who carry these unique blessings, this barakah, from beyond this moment to every tomorrow that we are in this dunya, leading us to the best of places in the world beyond this one. To understand and reflect upon the enormity of the moment that we have in front of us, and to not leave any part of what remains of this blessed month to chance, but to think about where and how we will leverage the uniqueness of this moment and give it as much value, if not more so, than all of the moments we have been blessed to observe in this month of Ramadan already. And within the confines of the day of Jum'ah and the blessed month of Ramadan, within a Mubarak gathering that we pray, inshallah ta'ala, the angels are a part of, to think deeply about what it is that you are going to take from this month, and how it is not simply going to be something that was fulfilled as obligation, but something that actually informs and transforms you as a person in your entirety, so that you meet the remainder of your days in this world as best as you can. There's a story of a sheikh who comes upon a young man who is traveling through a forest. And when the sheikh sees the young man, he notices that he's not carrying so much with him, and he seems to be speaking to himself, that his lips are moving and he is saying something. And the sheikh does not know this young boy. He's never seen him in the area before. And when he gets close enough to him, he engages him in a conversation. And he asks him, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" And the young man, he says to the sheikh that, "Ya sheikh, I am going to visit Allah in His house. I'm going for the pilgrimage to Makkatul Mukarramah." And the sheikh says to him that, "You are reciting something. What is it that you are saying to yourself?" And he says that, "Ya sheikh, I am reading the book of Allah. I am reciting Quran. What else would I say?" And he says that you are carrying nothing with you, that this is a long and arduous journey. Where is your provision? Where are your belongings? He says that you are also so young that it cannot be incumbent on you to make a journey like this at this moment. Why are you undertaking it now? And the young man, to the question of his age, says that, "Ya sheikh, I have seen so many who were even younger than me that had the capacity and means to fulfill this obligation that was obligatory upon them, but they chose not to do so, and they ended up passing from this world before completing it. So now why, when I have the means and the ability to do, even if others tend to push it off till a later time, would I not get it done simply because I have the ability to get it done? And you ask of my provision, where are my belongings? Where is my baggage?" And I say to you, Ya sheikh, that if you were to go to be a guest in anyone's home, would you bring your own provision? So why, when I am going to be a guest of Allah in His home, would I bring anything of provision for myself? We want to reflect upon this as we choose what steps we are going to take in the days ahead beyond this Ramadan. That quite often consciousness is not something that we embrace as a God-given blessing in our lives, which makes us unique from the rest of creation, that we are not the strongest of animals in God's creation. We cannot fly on our own to the different levels of the skies. We can't swim to the depth of the oceans. But we are unique in our capacity that Allah has given us the ability to think. And within that, we simply do not think, but we have capacity, the liberty to choose what it is that we think about and how we think about those things as well. And today, as these last hours of Ramadan come upon us, may Allah make them a means of increase and blessing for all of us. I would want you to start to think about what choices you are going to make in the days ahead. That what will you carry with you? What will you take from this blessed month? And not in a way where the questions are just regurgitated or as a mode of entertainment to pass the time, but to think deeply and introspectively that your choices are your decisions. Your accountability is tied to your actions. What you take from Ramadan will be your decision, and how you choose to meet the days ahead and ready yourself for the meeting that you will have most assuredly with your Creator will also be your choice and no one else's choice. And to think about the things that you might take with you from the standpoint of dunya that are just not possible to move forward as you walk into akhirah. May Allah make us people of Jannah. But to think about where and how the presence of a Ramadan, unlike any other Ramadan that many of us likely have experienced, creates opportunity for deep reflection, deep openings, the embracement of whatever it is that makes us uniquely human, and to choose to be people who live our Islam, live our Iman, live our Ihsan, live with real beauty, real goodness, real integrity, real character. But it's a personal choice. The backdrop of pandemic being one that creates a Ramadan not in a vacuum, but in a reality that gives to us numerous examples for us to choose from what it is that we want to aspire towards in the days and nights ahead. And to recognize that difficulty in and of itself does not become a catalyst for change, but difficulty can create opportunity for revelations. And within those revelations, we then can opt to embrace what we choose to be as individuals, humans, leading to our fullest of potential or striving for nothing other than the bare minimum and perhaps even less than it. That the difficulties of the coronavirus in the backdrop of Ramadan have given us deep insight into the paradoxical nature of humanity. That Allah, He says to us, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, that we have created man in the most beautiful of forms. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ, and then we let them fall to the lowest of the low. But indicating within us, each individual, the paradox is there, that we are both capable of being agents of real beauty as well as agents of real ugliness. May Allah protect us from it. And the revelations from the difficulties of pandemic that surround us both in our cities, in our country, and across the world have demonstrated to us so many opportunities to think about which way we will choose to move forward in our own subjective journey of our hearts. That there are such deep examples of beauty and goodness. Individual whose faith we can't even imagine what it's made of. That every day as doctors and nurses and residents and first responders, still to this day, meeting this pandemic head on, regardless of what it causes them of risk of their own personal existence, but their sole purpose fulfilling to be a mode of healing for the patients that they see day in and day out. That in my community alone, that I'm blessed to serve at the Islamic Center at New York University, in New York City, in Manhattan, we've had at least 4 doctors who have passed from COVID-19. and they contracted the illness by serving their patients in the hospitals, knowing that it was posing a risk to them, but seeking to embody as best as they could the verse of the Quran that tells us one life saved is like all mankind. Immense beauty from people of those backgrounds choosing to live with goodness, with ethics, with morals, with dignity. And then you find juxtaposed to it the example of real greed, real selfishness on the part of individuals who have the means to help but simply choose not to because they don't want to help others, that they aspire towards building policy that is self-serving, catering to a privileged majority, electeds at every level of governance, engaged in rhetoric, in discourse, words that seek to bring no benefit other than self-benefit. And all the while, individuals of various backgrounds dealing with the difficult realities of not having food to eat, water to drink, adequate health care to cover them in the midst of these kinds of things. That there are so many Muslims, let alone people of other walks of life, who have not had meals, food to break their fast on in this month of Ramadan because of the 30 million plus individuals who have lost their jobs, and so many who are stricken with difficulty even prior to the advent of this virus, let alone what it has yielded them thus far and what it will bring in the coming weeks and months ahead. We see a third revelation of how race and class still dictate who has and who has not. And how this is not a revelation of the last week or the last month or even the last year, but since the very inception of our country, a globalized supremacy that puts into the fabric of society a stratification that lends itself towards everyday minorities of all backgrounds being deprived of basic needs and necessities to simply live. And the most important revelation that arguably we could say this month of Ramadan in the backdrop of this virus affords us is a revelation of ourselves. How is it that you and I have chosen to respond? How is it that you and I have chosen to perceive? And we take that revelation of self-actualization, self-realization, not in a mode of self-deprecation, but in a mode to increase and enhance the understanding of who it is that we are, so that we can in turn set forth on a trajectory to meet the people that we potentially can actually become. And when you choose from all of the examples that have surfaced, choose from those examples that are examples of selflessness, examples of real beauty. Choose to practice an Islam that is not rooted simply in the rote, regurgitated mechanics of ritual, but practice ritual with the pursuit of spiritual increase that allows for you to take from all of your sensory organs of perception what the world around you stimulates you with, and you take meaning and find purpose in it. And then you go out and you live your days to the very best of your ability. Ramadan has never been about empty stomachs. It's about full hearts. And it's about filling your hearts with things that you know are good for you as well as those that are around you. That if in this moment we were to take our spiritual hearts and look into them and visualize what it was, what would your heart say it was attached to? How much of it would be attached to dunya and material wealth? How much of it would be attached to fear, anxiety? How much of it would be attached to compassion, mercy, love, care, affection? How much of it would be attached to the best of places in the Jannah that Allah has created, for those who truly believe in what it has to offer in the world beyond this one? How much of it would be attached to God himself versus how much of it would be enwrapped and engulfed in the tyrannical nafs that we have been battling for the last month's time? You want to sit and envision for yourself in these moments, what does success look like for you? Because nobody else can walk your path. You have to walk your journey to Allah. Some of us might be blessed to be your companions as you go through those pathways and roadways. But ultimately, it will be you who decides, you who chooses, you who is accountable for what you did and what you've done, what you have the ability to do and simply chose not to do. And in this moment, you want to conceptualize that for yourself. That who do I want to be when I am standing in front of Allah on that day of judgment, that day of reckoning? What excuses do I have to push out the way? What distractions do I have to reconcile are modifying my vision? What is it that I want to stand with in front of my Lord, beseeching him by his mercy to give me entrance into his paradise? And as I've conceptualized what that person needs to be, how do I now take steps backwards towards the I that I am today, to say that regardless of what phase of existence I am in my life, I will take the steps necessary so that the person I am today will not be afraid to meet that person that I can become tomorrow. And I will meet my Lord standing on the best of my convictions, the best of my actions, the best of my ideals. There is no shortage of good opportunity for you and I in these days. There are immense individuals that can benefit from us thinking about what really is important and what our priorities should be. We live in a society that teaches us to look at ourselves, but not for ourselves. And where the Prophet ﷺ has told us that the state of the believer is unique, that it changes 40 times in a day. And the one who has no belief, they are the same for 40 years in a row. The idea of taking a step back still can have potential benefit to it. But being in a place where we are stuck, paralyzed, no movement in any direction, that is not the way of the believer. That it is the one who has no belief, the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is the same for 40 years in a row. Embrace the change that Ramadan has given to you, but embrace it in a conscious mode. Recognize that spiritual growth is not possible unless you embrace the fact that you have areas that you can improve upon. And that's whether you are 17 or 27 or 37 or 77. That age in and of itself does not become a metric through which one suddenly stops growing. But growth is something that happens at every juncture of our existence. And it becomes a product of those adversaries to our growth, that we become complacent where it is that we are. And we stop being present with our choices and decisions in a way that we choose being mindful of both God and the idea of an afterlife. What will it be that will come your way in the coming days that will have you choose to give up what your heart has gained in Ramadan? Can you visualize for yourself right now what will be the first moment that you believe it's actually a better choice to be arrogant, to gossip, to lie, to break a promise or an oath? What moment will be so important that it will give you a sense that it makes more sense to curse or yell or scream at somebody who turns to you for care and affection? What will need to happen that you choose to not forgive, to choose to not be merciful, to choose to not be supportive? What person will have to come into your heart's journey? From what background? From what state? What will they have to look like for you to not be there for them in their time of need? You ask yourself these questions at the culmination of the school that is Ramadan, that has trained us in these last days and nights to be better than who it was that we meant the month upon. And we move forward with a recognition that accountability and choices are going to keep coming to us. And regardless of how we justify, we will still have to stand in front of Allah with them. A good person can be the default understanding you have of yourself because you are good. Somebody asks you how you know you are beautiful. Say Allah said in the Quran that He made us in beauty. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. But a good person can always be better. And you have to move and strive to share yourself as a source of illumination, a source of real light, a source of benefit for God's creation. And to recognize when you give of yourself, it never decreases you, as Allah's promise is true. But there is increase in the sharing of your light. Because when you give of your light to someone else so that they can have light also, your light doesn't decrease. But if anything, it increases, because them having more light also means more light for you. Like a candle, you want to give of your flame without conditions in every direction. And each flame that you set is a flame that will increase the illumination that this world is in need of without diminishing your flame in any capacity. Live your light in that way. Choose to be a source of real benefit. And where there's room and opportunity for improvement and increase, let yourself embrace with a growth mindset that all of us have things that we can do better. But think in these last moments of Ramadan, what it is that you will do to bring benefit, what it is that you will carry with you, how it is that you will continue to grow and you will continue to increase. And to not let yourself or anyone else be in a space or sphere that you let any part of it move away. And if you were to give it up, that you give it up only in exchange for Jannah, because that is what your heart is worth, my sister, my brother, that you should not give up your soul, your heart at the expense of anything other than in exchange for paradise. And so my prayer for you all and your loved ones is that Allah makes for each one of us a benefit this month of Ramadan, that He accepts from us all of our prayer, our fasting, our standing, our bowing, our kneeling, our prostrating, the du'as that we made, the du'as that we had hoped to make but were scared to make, the ones that we intended to but could not find the words to utter, all of our charity, all of our goodness, everything that we sought to put into this world to create balance, that Allah, inshallah ta'ala, will accept it from all of us. And I would ask you all to join me as we conclude in just a moment of dua and reflection, and to recenter yourself to the space so that the presence of your individual heart is as attentive as possible, and that we could reach the pinnacle of our prayers potential by each one of us putting the best of what we have inwardly into the dua that we would make together. And so let yourself be present, not just in the physical sense, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That if you are blessed to be in the presence of loved ones, then take that love and let it be something that catalyzes your focus. And to understand that the moment that you are in is exactly where you are supposed to be. Inshallah ta'ala, it'll be a means of growth for all of us and for each one that we meet as we move forward in our time in this world. Choose to take steps of remembrance as you exit from this month of Ramadan, not steps of forgetfulness. Remember that we came from a place and we are meant to return back to that place, and this dunya, it is not it. Do not jump to reshackle yourself to the bonds of the material world once this month is over. But allow for yourself to reach your celestial existence and to be in a sphere where every moment and every step you take, you remember that you were made for a different world, one that is much bigger, one that is much better. And so as we turn to Allah in dua, I would ask that each one of you joins me in this collective prayer. Inshallah ta'ala, Allah Azza wa Jal will accept it and give us even better than what it is that we asked of Him. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma anta as-salam wa minka as-salam, tabarakta rabbana wa ta'alayta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad fil awwaleen wa fil akhirin. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. We begin this supplication in your name, Ya Allah, and beseech you to send your choicest salutations upon your most beloved sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. We ask that you shower your infinite mercy upon this gathering, granting each and every one who is present herein and our loved ones only the best in this world and the best in the next. We ask, Ya Allah, that if all of us are meant to be together only at this time, at this place, whether we are young or old, male or female, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our social class, our country of origin, our cultural heritage, whether we are Muslim or come from a different walk of life, Ya Rabbi, if our individual hearts are meant to be in the presence of all other hearts that are gathered here only at this time, at this place, then gather us all together again in the best of places in the world beyond this one. Ya Allah, Ya Alim, knower of all things, you who has known each of us before we even knew ourselves, help us through this month of Ramadan to know ourselves better. Help us through this blessed month to know our strengths and to live by them, to know our character and how to increase it, to know our pains and how to heal them, to know our value and how to share it, to know our blessings and how to be grateful for them, to know our wants and to see where they conflict with our needs, to know our shortcomings and how to confront and defeat them, to know how to really forgive all those who have wronged us and to actually forgive them, to know how to seek forgiveness from those that we have wronged and to then go out and seek it, to know what charity is by being generous with our wealth and our time, to know what integrity is by being honest and truthful, and to know what goodness is by extending our hands without qualification to all those who are in need. Help us through this blessed month to know who it is that we are and not let the people we are today be afraid any longer to meet the people we can be tomorrow. And through it, Ya Allah, help us to know you and your mercy, to know you and your love. Make us from amongst those who live with true contentment every day of our lives and grant us an abode in the place of ultimate contentment in the world beyond this one. Allow for our beings to be filled with self-love that we can go out and share with others, rather than a love of ourselves that keeps us from being everything that we are able to be. When our hearts are heavy and we are filled with darkness, bring people to us who illuminate us through kindness, compassion, and love. Make us always the reason that people have hope in this world and never the reason that people might dread it. Help us to know the realities of those that are around us by overcoming whatever it is that exists within us that keeps us away from one another. Through this month of Ramadan, perfect us inwardly so that we are victorious in the battle that is taking place every day for control of our hearts. Give us victory over selfishness and remove from within us any feelings of arrogance or racism. Increase us in brotherhood and sisterhood so that we might together take on every challenge that we individually face. And together we celebrate every success and achievement. Give us hearts that feel anger whenever one of our sisters are abused, and the confidence and compassion needed to build for her the services and shelter she's in need of. Give us hearts that feel sadness when any one of us loses a loved one, and the gentleness and mercy needed to be there for them fully. Give us hearts that feel joy whenever any one of us succeeds, and the love and hope needed to celebrate that achievement. Give us hearts that are not lost in the pursuit of this world, but hearts that are bold enough to be drawn to the world beyond this one. Let our rage be only at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people, so that we will work for justice, equality, and peace. Let our tears shed only for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and conflict, so that we will reach out our hands to comfort them and change their pain into joy. And let our successes be many, as we make a difference in this world by doing the things which others say cannot be done. Make us those who use our strength, our power, our sheer will and determination to break down the walls of inequity, injustice, and oppression that confine so many today. Help us to truly be those who come together on principles of truth, patience, and mercy, so that we can, as a community, do for others what we have the ability to do. Inspire us to build the shelters and clinics that our neighbors are in need of. Inspire us to take in the orphans and children that the world has forgotten. Inspire us to be generous and honest, people of integrity and sound character. Inspire us to live our Islam in such a way that it brings benefit to all those who are around us. Send us reminders always of what true contentment really is. Help us to see this world always through hearts that have benefited from Ramadan, to see goodness in all those who are around us, and to never be those who elevate ourselves by denigrating others. Give us the strength to stand again after we have fallen, to understand that we will make mistakes in the days that come ahead. Grant us the wisdom to learn from our failings and the humility to truly gain from each and every success. For any pain and torment that we might have faced, through it give ease, understanding, and facility. For any suffering that we have sustained, bring to us understanding and strength of healing. Give us always a life that is filled with a wellness of our minds, our bodies, our spirits, and our hearts. Make this Ramadan a month of rejuvenation for us, a month of renewal, a month of replenishment. It is not our stomachs that are hungry, nor our throats that are thirsty, but our hearts are parched and long to be revitalized. Grant us both in and through the remaining moments of this blessed month and the coming weeks and years ahead, a much needed peace that we long for, even if we don't realize it. And help us to always, Ya Allah, make decisions through our hearts and never at their expense. Put into our hearts a desire for nothing less but to take from this Ramadan all that it is that we can, and remove from our hearts anything that distracts us from it. Make us those who seek out, witness, and benefit from Laylatul Qadr. And in our standing in the nights, help us to remember all those who are forgotten, whether by us alone or the world around us. Give us the energy to stand into the night and the sincerity to make dua for all those who are special to us. Through this Ramadan, increase us in our Islam. Through this Ramadan, increase us in our Iman. Through this Ramadan, increase us in our Ihsan. Make the Quran our guide and grant us a deep understanding of it. Make the Sunnah our goal, both inward and outward aspects of it. And make our prayer our anchor, granting us the true sweetness that salah and dua only can. Make the best of our deeds the last of our deeds. And let not any one of us leave this world other than in a state that is most pleasing to you. Ya Allah, bless us in this month of Ramadan and help us to gain from it always. For all those who find themselves ill, make this ailment for them a means of purification in this world and a means of elevation in the next. Grant each one a complete healing and shifa, each one a quick and easy recovery. For all those who have lost loved ones in these days of Corona, bring ease to their hearts and let every tear that they have shed raise their loved ones in rank and degree over and over again. Make them from the shuhada, Ya Rabbi, and help us to remember them always. Ya Allah, you are with us. Though we cannot see you, we know that you see us and that you are by our side. You love us more than we could know, and you know each tear that we have cried. We trust you. Guide us and hold us until we are recovered and well. Relieve us of all pain and free us from any suffering. Help us to obtain strength for the sake of the weary, hope for those who are discouraged, and joy for each and every one who is downhearted. Protect us always from hearts that are not humble, tongues that are not wise, and eyes that have forgotten how to cry. Forgive us for our shortcomings and guide and bless us all. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah bless each and every one of you and your loved ones. May He accept from all of us this month of Ramadan, and may He guide and bless us all. Wallahu ta'ala alam wa billahi tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Jazakallah khair. It's a very wonderful khutbah by Sheikh Khalid Lateef. And alhamdulillah, so this is the day, a mix between the day of sadness and happiness. Sadness because, our guest is about to leave. The guest who brought a lot of things, a lot of blessing, right? The guest who brought us maghfirah, forgiveness, and inshallah also set free from hellfire. They're about to leave. And we don't know if next year when it comes, we're still alive or not. We hope, inshallah. At the same time, this is the day of happiness. This is the day of Jaiza, the day that we receive the prize, the reward, inshallah. Also the day of victory, right? Because in 1 month, we were struggling, we were fighting. So therefore why, inshallah, from Saturday night, we're going to say, Allahu Akbar, Takbir, victory. At the same time, also, this is a day of graduation, right? So we have to ask question, are we graduate, right? Are we called Al-Faizin, the winner, the one who passed the test? Or are we among the Khasirin? May Allah protect us, the loser, right? Or also there's another word, are we Ramadaniyin or Rabbaniyin? Ramadaniyin, that means the one who becomes super Muslim in Ramadan. But as soon as Ramadan is over, everything bye-bye. Bye-bye Quran, bye-bye Qiyamul Layl, right? Or Rabbaniyin. Rabbaniyin is the one who continue. Of course, not the same like Ramadan, but he continue. What he used to do in Ramadan and continue. Right? Now the question is, are we graduate or not? You have to look at the sign. And the sign for us very easy. What is the goal of fasting? Everybody know the ayah, right? 183, Surah Al-Baqarah. La'allakum tattaqun. La'allakum mean hoping, perhaps, right? By fasting in Ramadan, we become muttaqin, we become righteous. How do we know we are righteous? Nobody knows. Only Allah knows. But there is a sign, there's indication for those who are righteous or not. Right? Because of the time, I did read 50 ayah that talk about the sign of righteous people, right? Always there is one sign is there, right? One sign is there. Yeah. What's that? That the righteous, the muttaqin, is the one who like to spend, like to give. That what the proof? That is start Surah Al-Baqarah. Hudan lil muttaqin. This book is guidance for muttaqin. Who's muttaqin? Right? Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaib. Those who believe in unseen. Right? Wa yuqimuna as-salah, and steadfast in salat. What's the next one? Wa mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun. Whatever Allah bless them with anything, they like to give to the others. Generosity. Now, Surah Imran. After Allah talk about Jannah, forgiver, what he said? U'iddat lil muttaqin. That Jannah has been prepared. For who? For muttaqin. What's the first sign? الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء. Those who love, who like to spend, whether when they have or not. And many ayats. Even when Allah was praising Abu Bakr in Surah Al-Layl, Allah said, وَسَيُجَنَّبُهَا الْأَتْقَى. Allah will save Abu Bakr from the hellfire. Why? What's the next ayah? What's the reason? What his quality? Allah mentioned it. الَّذِي يُؤْتِي مَالَهُ يَتَزَكَّى. Allah. The first quality of Abu Bakr, because he liked to give, to provide. MashaAllah. So if we are now being generous, right? This is good. Congratulations. You are among the muttaqin. I want to share with story. One day, a man came to Rasulullah's house, knocked the door, and Aisha opened the door. I said, oh, please, I need sadaqah from Rasulullah SAW. And Rasulullah told Aisha, please give my best clothes to him. That's what we have now. So Aisha gave to him, and the man ran so happy. He went to market. Anyone want to buy the Prophet clothes? Anyone? Of course, everybody, came and then said, how much? I said, and then everybody was said, okay, I buy 10 dinar. No, 20 dinar. It's like auction. A blind man have a shop there. He said to his slave, if you're able to get that clothes, you are free. The boy so happy, and he went there, and the price only 900. The boy said, 1,000 dinar. He sold. The boy took the clothes and brought to the blind man. And then the blind man said, you are free now. The boy is so happy. And then the blind man took the clothes and put into his face like this, and he made dua. Ya Allah, with the blessing, with the barakah of this clothes, please bring back my sight. Alhamdulillah, he can see now. The blind man so happy, so he went to the Prophet's house. Knocked the door, Rasulullah opened, said, Ya Rasulullah, is this your clothes? They said, yeah. I return it to you. Alhamdulillah, Allah brought back my eyes because of the blessing of the clothes. And he left. And then Rasulullah SAW, he looked to Aisha, look at the power of sadaqah. Allah, the power of sadaqah. 4 things happened. Number 1, a poor man became rich. A boy free. And the blind man can see now. And this cloth returned to Allah. the brothers, that's the power of sadaqah. Especially we are in this month of Ramadan, right? So the brother, I would like to encourage everybody, inshallah. As we know, alhamdulillah, even we are in this situation, right? Our masjid, was able to continue to have function and to work and to give and to contribute to the community, right? So we have to ask question now, what is my role, right? So I like encourage inshallah anybody inshallah, we start with 1,000, we can get a lot of people, and then whatever you can get, 1,500, right? So and this is the way, if you want to give donation, so you can visit our website, right? You can pay there. Yeah, so you can, the easy way, you can use Zelle. Yeah. So whatever you can. And also be smart. That means, I remember, when before the coronavirus, there's a brother here. He's very smart. He have a taxi, right? But at night, so he drive at daytime. At night time, he asked somebody to use it. No. So he's sleeping at night, but he still generate income. So the same also. You can share this information to your brother, your sister, your friend. Right? So when they also give donation, you will get reward from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Yeah. Also, I think there is a hadith also. One of the goal of Ramadan is you want to be close to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. You want to be enjoy when you pursue Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Because in the middle, in the middle that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala talk about Ramadan, He said, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. If my servant asks concerning me, tell him that I am close. Allah, I am near. How do we know that we are near? Listen to the hadith. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم السخي قريب من الله قريب من الجنة قريب من الناس بعيد من النار. السخي means the generous person, the one who like to give. قريب من الله, he close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kareem. Allah is, very generous. He close to Jannah, close to people love him, and far away from the hellfire. Right? And then he said, Al-Bakhir, the miser one. Right? Who? The miser one is the one who far away from Allah, far away from Jannah, far away from people, and close to hellfire. Yeah. So therefore, again, I would like to encourage inshallah everybody. And also, people worry, I heard that many companies, they're going to lay off a lot of people. Yeah. How to protect, to preserve our income, right? It's sadaqah. It's in the hadith. As-sadaqah tadfa'ul bala. Sadaqah can prevent us from the bala. Right? I remember in Indonesia, there is a bus accident. Everybody died. Only a girl in mid-school, she's life is saved. When the journalist was interview her, I don't know, but she remembered that before she ride the bus, she saw a poor man on the street. She only have that money. Every day, her father give this money and give to them. Sadaqah talfa'ul bala. Yeah. So the brothers and sisters, I would like to encourage Allah everybody to give support and give donation. Right? So inshallah, we are become among, we got the sign of the muttaqin. I want to close. There is a, I said, ma naqasa malun min sadaqah. Inshallah, you will get the word of Taraweeh, Qiyamul Layl, of Witir, of fasting, everything, inshallah. But when? When we die. Not here. Only sadaqah. Only sadaqah. Allah SWT will respond you immediately. Did you hear somebody said, oh man, I become poor, what? I give too much sadaqah. Never. Always increase. So if you want to protect your job, your family, right, your income, right, also inshallah, you protect from this coronavirus. And the best one is sadaqah. Even the word sadaqah is from the word siddiq. Siddiq means the truthful. He said, as-salatu nur, salatu diya, right? So inshallah, when you pass by the bridge, but also in order to get to for example, if you want to get something, you need the ID. So this word as-sadaqatu burhan. Sadaqah is the ID. Right? فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنِ. Yeah. Let's pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, right? May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that accept our siyam, our qiyam, and accept our all good deed. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala accept our zakat, our sadaqah. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make us among the Rabbaniin, the Faizin, right? At the same time, also, inshallah, the Eid will be on Sunday. And also, inshallah, we can get benefit from this masjid. We going to broadcast the prayer. You can join also at home with your family. Join the Imam prayer here. And also after that, the Khutbah, right? Inshallah, we'll start, the prayer will start at 10:30, right? And then Khutbah. And then inshallah, the president going to send a message to everybody. And then we have also guest speaker going to give the khatira, another khutbah. Yeah. And also at the same time, I saw a lot of people here working, to give a gift for the Eid, inshallah. So we always engage, right? So therefore we always ask the question, what is my role? Ya Allah, I want to do like everybody. Right? The Quran said, Kullun ya'malu ala shakilati. Everybody do as best as you can, as best they can, according to what Allah gives to them. Right? Allahumma taqabbal minna salatana wa qiyamana wa zakatina wa sadaqatina wa jami'a amalina. Allahumma ij'alna minal faizin, Allahumma ij'alna minal a'idin, Allahumma ij'alna minal muttaqin, Allahumma ij'alna minas salihin, Allahumma ij'alna minat tawwabin, Allahumma ij'alna minal mutatahhirin, Allahumma ij'alna minal maqbulin. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna ya Allah ya Karim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzabannar. Wa sallallahu sallam alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I wanted to take 5 minutes. I won't take more time. Let me share some important updates that I can provide, inshallah, just regarding the next few days, what you can expect. So hopefully you can see my screen here. So as usual, I wanted to give you a quick update on the next few days. First, I wanted to update on the fundraiser itself that we have done. I hope that you don't think that we are, constantly coming to you for money. We do it for my perspective for two reasons. One is we have an obligation to serve the community, which is you, and that requires resources. And we have to come to you for those resources. That's why we are doing this. Number two, it's an opportunity that we have as part of this being as Ummah to contribute and get the rewards, as Sheikh Joban mentioned, in this month of Ramadan. So far, we have raised 654,000 since the beginning of Ramadan, the two fundraisers. There's probably another $75,000 that came not through fundraiser, but donations. So approximately, we are close to like 725. As I mentioned to you, just the operational expenses are 1.2 million. Obviously, this keeps all of us, at least me and the board, up at night to make sure that we are able to fulfill our obligations. We have 216 people that have contributed to this fundraiser. Ideally, we want to reach $1 million and have 500 people contribute. So if you're one of those that can make even a small donation of 25, 50, $100 today, and get this number up, it makes feel as if that we're all part of this effort. So with that plea, I wanted to go to the next thing that I wanted to share with you. The Iftar program that we have been doing, the drive-thrus, just quick recap. This will be the last Ramadan Friday. We have so far served for 10,000 Iftar meals since the start of the Ramadan. We have spent $88,000 and we have got donation of 76,000 from about 327 people. There's a little bit of a deficit, but I know that with your help and generosity, we will be able to, inshallah, cover this. Next, Zakatul Fitr. We have so far benefited about 755 families. We did the distribution yesterday, Tuesday, and through the week. We have given to 755, about 4,000 people that we have helped to have a good Eid, inshallah. We've collected about 58,000. We still have a bit of a deficit. We typically collect over $100,000, but I know that between now and the Eid that we will get. But the sooner that you can pay the fitrah, the easier it is we can make sure that it reaches the hands of the people that need it the most, and they are able to have an enjoyable Eid, inshallah. So if you haven't done it before this is over, just go to the website and donate, inshallah. So you can see here, if you go to our website, you can see that support fundraising and go to Iftar, and you will see all of the options available to you to make your donations. In terms of MAP services, we continue. This is something that happens all the time. We get requests for financial assistance, requests for food, requests for medication. We do that. We have distributed, food drive for 2,000 plus families, and I've shared the information from you. We continue to do boxed lunches for homeless people, healthcare workers, and you can continue to sign up for the medical clinic, telemedicine, inshallah. Tonight, inshallah, we'll have Khatam al-Quran, and you can join our virtual Taraweeh at 10:45 on the facebook.com/mapsredmond.org and enjoy, inshallah, the virtual Taraweeh. And finally, I'm coming to the Eid, inshallah. Just wanted to make sure that we will have live streaming of Salatul Eid prayer on Sunday. We follow ISNA's calculation, and therefore it will be on Sunday, inshallah. And the takbirat will start at 10 o'clock. You can go to, again, the Facebook and join the Eid prayer, as well as Khutbah. I will have a short update. And more importantly, we also have a nice external khatib who will be joining us. And after the prayer is over, starting at noon, we will have a drive-through available for Eid drive-through. Let me show you a little bit. So you can see that people have been busy preparing for this drive-through of Eid. So, inshallah, it'll be good and fun, and it'll be an opportunity for us to get out of our homes And if not, see them, at least see them drive by. Decorate your car and make it festivities for all of us, inshallah. We did complete our Quran competition. We had 170 plus people with 19 judges. It completed last weekend, inshallah. And we also announced the winners of this. And finally, we announced Qari Aslam is joining us. You will hear a lot of the specific programs that will be available in June, in summer, as well as in the fall. After the Eid is over, you'll see an announcement. You can sign up for these programs. I'm not going to touch on the opening. We have lots of plans that we are doing. Inshallah, in the Eid's khutbah, I will talk about what we are doing as we governor and the state and the county open up the community, how we are trying to make sure that we are at the head of the curve and doing as much as we can to open up the masjid, so that with knowing the constraints that we will have, but we are going to do everything we can. I know many of us want to be in the masjid, not lose the connection. So we're going to do everything we can to be ahead of this curve as much as we can, inshallah. With those, I don't want to spend almost an hour. Don't forget us and your prayers, and please, donate to your masjid so that we can continue to serve you and the community, mashallah, that you help build for us. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.